Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I heard your drink, and it threw me off.
You didn't do the 3, 2, 1?
I did it, but I did it
In
early.
his brain.
Yeah, I did it early while you were drinking, and then I heard the drink. It was like a, and I was like, I don't think I've ever heard you drink.
I drink all that. Look how many
Oh,
cups
yeah, but
I
I don't-
have.
I hear him all the time.
Yeah,
He's
you
so
do.
loud.
Okay, before
I have a drinking problem.
That's true.
We have a guest on the line. Before we get to our guest, we vowed, after talking to multiple people that are good and positive influences in our life to be 1% better. Our friend Chris Nikich, I was following him. He's training for Hawaii now for the Ironman.
Awesome.
So we need to try in following his footsteps and be 1% better. Let's talk about cleaning up around here. Let's talk about the cup problem. You brought it up.
There's 3 right in front of him.
Okay, you have 3
Jumbos.
jumbo 32-ounce Bubba cups in front of you.
And what is in each of them?
Okay, let's describe. We have 3 of them. What's in cup number 1 to your?
Well, that's my current drinking
That's
cup.
the
Okay,
main
now what's
man
the
right
one
there.
in
That's his
front
main
of you?
chick.
This is a little bit left from yesterday's
So it's
cup.
backwash
Okay, and then
from
what's
yesterday.
in that one?
This is empty cup.
Okay, all right, empty
my
cup.
God.
That's the dry one.
Okay. Is that one in rotation to come back around, or are you just gonna have?
All right, my cup man
No,
came
you
and is cleaning up on me.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
Butler came in and stole your empty cup.
Oh.
He will go now and clean it. Have you
By
realized
the way,
that?
my personal cupman is getting very angry
Yeah.
at cleaning up after me,
Yeah, I
and
know.
soon we'll start
Have you heard
abusing
how
me
loud?
like
You can tell when somebody doesn't like to do
retirement
what they're
home
doing when you listen to how loud they do their task.
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah.
Butler
That's
is a
passive-
loud
Slam the cup
dishwasher.
down.
My God, he's loud. I can hear the resentment with every shot glass he rinses out. I can also hear him put his balls on your cups.
That's called passive aggressive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do everything loud. To
Passive
show-
aggressive
yeah.
Paul
Prove a
Mahler.
point.
That
Yep.
doesn't work against me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom doesn't listen.
The only thing that works against Tom is aggressive, and he's strong, so you better watch out.
Yeah. It's either aggressive
Or nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The passive, good. It's like
I've been doing
it means
passive,
nothing to me.
I've been doing passive aggressive to Tom for so long that he's completely immune to it. It's like being bit by a snake
Yeah.
every 3 seconds.
You got to move up to aggressive.
Yes.
I thought your personality was just D-head.
I quote, quit acting like a dude.
So anyway, let's
Yeah.
talk about it. 1% better. You do realize that in the 4 years we've been in this studio, really nice studio, we built it out ourselves, that
Yep.
you have never, ever cleaned up one of your cups.
Well, here's the thing. I gotta stop saying that. By the way,
You know,
that's
Jeff Howe says that a lot.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he is
Yeah.
dumb old man.
yeah. Then you fall into only your catchphrases, and that's it. You're just
Okay, here's the deal.
yeah. Then your long joke.
We have an old dumb old man on the line.
Yeah, I know.
Stop.
We're gonna be dumb old man. I am close, almost there, maybe there.
Okay, well then, perfect segue. Let's sag into our guest.
We'll talk about the cups later.
Yeah, we'll
I
get
have
to
a
the
problem.
we'll get to the cups later. We need to stretch out this material as long as humanly possible.
Hold
the
on.
cups is our
This
aim
is part
material.
of my disability, and you guys are.
your disability can't just
this
keep
is a
getting
hate
bigger
crime.
Well,
and
you
bigger.
can't just be messy and say it's a disability.
Well,
Yes,
you
you
also
can.
can't keep adding symptoms to your disability.
That's
Right.
Yes, you can.
No.
Yes,
Well, then
you
I have a
guys.
disability
I'm
now.
gonna need all your
Okay,
symptoms.
well,
right.
Well, then I have a disability where I can't use my hands to stop or start the computers anymore.
Then
Look at them; they're not moving.
Well,
it's
that's
a new symptom.
Well, that's a problem. That's your job, and we're gonna have to look at that and
Well, you're
report
gonna
it.
die.
Wow.
If you can't do your job
somehow
anymore.
that backfired on me.
My job isn't Grandmaster Cup organizer.
Don't believe you're a Grandmaster Cup organizer. Worst rap name, best Proud Boy name. Who's on the line? It's Tom.
Tom.
Okay, on the line with us right now is a different Tom. This Tom actually happens to live out in the villages. We watched the documentary Some Kind of Heaven.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
we all loved it. The characters that they focused on were pretty interesting. Were they exaggerated? Is that the normal person you get out of the villages? Probably not. And we have somebody that lives in the villages that can, verify and tell us a little bit more about living out there.
Yeah. What's going on, Tom?
Hey, Tom, Dan, and Sam. How you guys doing?
Good, man.
So, Tom, what was your motivation to live out in the villages?
Believe it or not, just a little background. We lived in Florida, down in Miami, for 12 years. Then I moved out to Colorado for 20, and we got tired of winter, and so we knew we were going to come back to Florida. And I wanted, an active community. I wanted some place where you don't just sit around and wait to die.
Yeah.
And I had heard all the rumors about the villages. I had never been here, and we had looked at some of those active communities like around the Claremont area, and all of them felt like God's waiting room. Seriously, it was just sort of people weren't out. It just felt like nothing was going on.
Sure.
And then finally, I just told my wife, I said, we've got to go check out the villages. Let's just go. We'll know within 30 minutes whether we're interested or not. And that's pretty much how it happened. We hooked up with one of the realtors here. He took us around, and the first thing we noticed was everyone is outside, walking dogs, running, riding bikes, just being active. And we said, that's what we want.
Okay.
That's important, too, because a new study came out yesterday in the New York Times. They're talking about how they're finding new chemicals within your aged brain that are activated, new things that we've never seen before that are activated, and that actually exercising every single day for people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s will increase your memory, they're saying, by over 50%.
Really?
Like
it's
massive.
that important.
Yeah, it's like new chemicals that they know what they are, but they've never fully studied. It's like opening new neural pathways inside your brain.
You just got to keep moving. Like, look at the old people that live in like jungles and places that where you literally have to move to live.
Yeah.
Like you can't. Like, there's no option just to sit in your hut and do nothing all day. Like, hey, you got to go out and find food or cook or contribute.
Well, like even those guys that build those,
they live longer.
Those clay structures that we've been on YouTube.
Yeah.
And there's an old man that builds these clay castles. And people go like, look, he looks so young. Yeah, because every day he builds a 40-foot tall clay structure. You know, he's athletic.
You have to keep moving. You stop, you die.
So, Tom, you and your wife, you take a tour, and within, like you said, within like an hour, you guys are like, well, this looks like the place for us.
Yes. Yep.
So, Tom, why do you think it is that other, like, maybe retirement communities, because there's a lot in Florida, like, obviously, that's where that people come here for the weather to retire.
It's great.
Yep.
So, why in the villages, is it the mentality of why people live in the villages is to be active?
Like a youthful mentality?
More than any other place?
I think it's a little bit of both. When you guys were reviewing the documentary, I think it was Tom said, no one there looked old enough to live here. And you'll find most villagers are way older than you think and I think it's because of the lifestyle. I met a guy, he's in the Senior Olympics, he's a gold medal winner. He's 81 years old. I would not have guessed he was 68.
Right,
and that's a pretty common thing. But kind of the secret sauce at the villages that really was appealing to us, and some people have kind of mentioned this, is we pay an activity fee, which is kind of like your HOA fee. It's $159 a month.
All right.
And,
Are you serious?
Hold on, it's the pause. Hold on. We are, dude. We gotta go. We gotta go to the villages.
Screaming our name.
And we gotta have villages. Tom, show us around. You got a golf cart?
Yep.
Oh my God.
Well, hold on,
dude.
Yeah.
Go-to show at the villages?
And listen to how can you, I know that you turned. At first you remember, and now we started talking to this guy. And you like villages, Tom.
Well, I'm going to start. I mean, of course, I'm going to ask him about the swing coming up here.
Okay,
because that's
all
what
right.
I'm the
Fair
most
enough.
interested in.
All right, so
I know Tom said that if you have a golf cart, you're white trash in Florida, and I guess I must be because I've wanted to live in a community where I could get around on a golf cart for like 20 years.
That's what Tom says.
Well, it's either rich or white trash. It can't be in the middle. It's all or nothing.
This guy sounds a little rich.
It's either golf or old, or then on the opposite.
Yeah. You're either like old man rich or the Dudesons jumping a fire pit. Like some trash children.
So now, okay, you pay $159 for the activities fee.
Crazy.
What does that all include?
Everything, and that's the magic. I can golf for free. I can every activity. There's a little like equipment station next to everything. So even if you don't have, like, pickleball's a big sport up here.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't have pickleball equipment, they've got rackets and balls. You just go get them and go play. And so once you're here, you can go and use any of the facilities anytime, and you don't pay anything extra. And if you compare this to a lot of the other 55-plus communities, which we did, the HOA fee there was generally like close to $500 a month, and that was for one pool, one clubhouse, and one golf course that you had to pay for.
I'll tell you right now, I pay more than that for limited access to 2 pools.
Yeah. Huh.
And a gym that's not that great. that I never use because I don't, it's not good. So yeah, that's $159 to do anything you want to do as a senior sounds extremely attractive. Is that for everybody? Like it's one rate, or are there different rates depending on where you live as a villager?
It depends when you got here, and so people that have been here for longer pay a little bit less. It's gone up a little bit over the years, and I think it's now. It might be a little higher than the 159, but we've been here for a year and a half, and that's what it was when we came. But once you're in, that's what it is.
So, Tom, I'm curious,
That's cool.
because it's natural human instinct to start congregating with the people that are like-minded, right? So I'm wondering, in the villages, are there different groups and people that hang out with each other? Because, do
you mean they click off?
For political reasons, for
socioeconomic, the type of music they like, the type of dancing. I like a very aggressive pickleball. Samantha likes a very relaxing pickleball.
I mean, because for sure, there's rich people that live in the villages, and probably the lower that live in the villages. Like, obviously, so there's probably that. Is there a racial thing too? I mean, all the different dynamics.
Like a lot of honkies in that documentary.
Yeah, but maybe there's no. That's just a limited view of the villages. So
there's one muscle black guy.
So I'm guessing it's like any community. Everybody kind of has cliques and congregates with like-minded people. Is that kind of the deal? Or does everybody hang out? How does that work socially?
It tends to happen here based off your activities. You tend to get a group of people that like to do the same thing. Like, I'm not a huge golfer, but they call them pitch and putts here, where it's basically every hole's like a par 3.
Nice.
And so you don't have to be very good to play. And I don't mind doing that, but I'm not a very good golfer. But there are, people that love to golf, and they get their clique of friends that like to do that. It's sort of the unwritten rule here. You don't really talk politics. People are like, I'm here to have fun, and I'm not here to argue.
I saw some parades in there on the news.
Well, those are, but
that's probably a small contingent.
It's like anything on the news. It's going to be the crazies.
Tom, can I ask you a question? Do you know a man by the name of Gator Bill that lives in the villages?
I do not.
Okay, all right.
There's
fair
9 Gator Bills. I know.
Okay, fair enough.
So
just wondering what he's up to.
That's
and Tom,
that's
you said something about the rich white guys and all these other people. You'd be pretty surprised at how egalitarian it is here. For example, at the town squares, that's where the sales centers are, and they have greeters that open the door and let you in and ask you who you're there to see. And our realtor was showing us around, and he pointed to one guy that was opening a door, and he goes, "You see him? He was the CEO of Kodak, and he's just opening a door for just something because he wanted to do it. It gets him out and gets him out doing something, and that's pretty common around here. People have like part-time jobs just because they want to get out and be social and meet people.
Yeah.
So the whole idea of the community is almost to live a long time, and if everybody's mindset is, we're all in this for longevity, then a part-time job like those ladies that stand on the little gates that aren't really gates.
Right.
I mean, that is, it all of that matters subconsciously in your brain. Yeah.
Also, Tom, I've thought about this, and I think everybody does as they get older, where you start to realize, like, when you're younger, you view retirement as the time you get to sit at a beach and then just literally lounge in a lounge chair. But you're not doing that every day, all day. Do you want to die fast? Because that's what will happen if you just lounge on a beach all day. Plus, you're gonna get bored as hell. Like, that's stupid.
I'm like leathery tan though.
But it's like no one just sits. You need stuff to do. You have to start. You have to do stuff.
I mean, I've tried that before. When I was sad, I'll sit and just sit and drink at all hours, and you will kill yourself.
Well, but there's only a certain amount of time you could do that. Yes, on vacation for 2 weeks, great. But the rest of your life, you have to maintain an active lifestyle for any sort of enjoyment.
Swinging.
Well, that's how I tricked my wife into leaving Colorado. We loved it out there. Colorado was awesome, and the weather is pretty good. There was a couple of months a year that I could do without.
Right.
But I wanted to be active because my parents were snowbirds. They've been coming down to Florida since I was a little kid, and they lived in a 55-plus community, nothing like the Villages, but I saw how my dad came out of his shell. He was a blue-collar guy, raised, I have 4 brothers, a pretty big family, and, he was just a guy that just worked hard and took care of us. But then he retired, and he turned into a different guy. I mean, suddenly this guy is never home. He's talking on cell phones like a teenage girl to his friends, and I'm just like, who are you? And so over the years, I saw that, and I said, I want something like that. That's awesome.
Huh.
Okay, the
Hold on,
Villages...
maybe when I become an old man, I could become a fun-loving old
teenage girl.
I thought I was done. I was like, well, if I'm this angry now, then I'll be mad.
What's your name going to be when you transition to a teenage girl at the age of 60?
I don't know. I could be anybody I want.
I think you look like a Tina to me.
I could be
Tina
a Tina
Chisholm fan.
So
Do you hear how young he sounds though, living in the Villages? Like you're very. Yeah. Like, we have a lot of callers. Well, most of our callers are drunks and stoners. But you're very snappy for, as Tom and I would call, and this is a compliment, as a dumb old man, you are very snappy.
Well, first of all, I'm 55, and so we're here, young. And but that's kind of our point. My wife and I, we couldn't have kids, and so, and I think I told you guys I love hearing about your stories, and we're sorry we missed out on that, but it just didn't work for us.
Yeah.
And so there has to be some advantage.
It's not that great.
Yeah, Tom, it's not that
good.
Yeah.
Pickleball, I tell you, a good victory in pickleball is about as good as watching your kid do something good.
Yeah, people say, like, well, who's going to take care of you? They're not. Tommy and Mac, especially
they don't
Mac.
Want to.
Yeah, they don't want
That's
to.
A burden.
Burdening them.
Yesterday, Maisie got in trouble 3 times at school yesterday. 3 times I had to get on her. She was talking during an assailant drill.
Yeah, you know what it's like to...
My God, you can't be talking during the assailant drill. They could be mowing the school down.
You know what it's like to have to clean up your dad, though at one time you viewed him as your hero, and you're wiping him down.
Wiping him down.
And he's embarrassed. And
it's like it looks like that scene like in The Joker where he's giving his mom a bath. Yeah, that's you. You're sitting in the tub.
Nobody wants to do that.
He's shaking. Next thing you know, he's on a train with clown makeup laughing.
It's not that good. And my God, the expense. Anyway, so...
I know you called me a dumb old man, but I'm going to try and redeem myself. I think I have the solution to your doo-doo fly problem, because we had a similar issue.
All right, I'm listening.
We're in a brand new house, keep it super clean, started having doo-doo flies. And it was driving me crazy. I was like, where are these coming from? Did a quick Google, and they listed like the top 5, where areas where they come from. And my wife had been growing plants like herb gardens and stuff, and that was during the cold season. She would bring them in at night. One of the top origins of doo-doo flies is dirt. So if you've got plants in the studio, they're probably coming from the dirt.
Yeah, we just got rid of Greg the plant yesterday.
We threw him out.
You threw him out?
We threw him out.
Butler took him.
Oh, okay. I was about to say,
but the whole bottom of it was rotten.
Rotten out, yeah.
And Butler's like, I'll replant him. I'm like, I don't give a damn what you do with it. I said, you could start eating it and die in the street. I wouldn't care. And we didn't mean that as an insult. We mean, like, when we call you a dom or a dumb old man, we mean that as a compliment, because we, sir, are also dumb old men.
Well,
we're dumb old men in training.
Everybody,
we're dumb juniors.
At some point, ends up being a dumb old man. It's inevitable. You cannot.
Even Samantha hangs out with us so much that she's becoming a dumb old man.
Well, I married one.
You leave him alone.
He's young, but
not even on the show, ma'am.
You cannot stop it. Anyway, Tom.
Leave him alone.
So everybody always brings up the swinging going on at the Villages. I've been hearing this for 20 years on the radio and all the whole thing. The Villages, the loofahs. And
dumb old man with his D in his hand.
And from just, I'm guessing that it's probably exaggerated, that there probably is a small contingent of people that have that lifestyle and maybe are more open and more sexually active, and that's what the media and people gravitate towards because it's the greatest story.
And then there's you, the active, younger, you got a wife, and you just want to hunker down and have an active lifestyle.
So how much is the swinging overblown in the Villages?
1,000%. And it's so funny because before coming here on our little fact-finding trip, I had only heard all the jokes and late-night comics and the memes. Yeah. But I figured, there's always an element of truth to those things, and so I figured there has to be some of that. I have yet to see a loofah on a golf cart. Not one.
Wow.
And that was always the joke, is like the loofah determines what you're into.
Yeah.
And I have not seen it. And maybe part of it is the fact that because it is, a retirement community and people do pass away, that there are older people dating here. I mean, that's not an uncommon thing because, you lose your spouse and you're still want companionship, that kind of thing. And so I think there is a lot of activities you wouldn't expect in a normal retirement community, but it's because they're still active and just want that kind of thing.
So, Tom, are all the houses basically the same? Is there any area where they're like big mansions? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, like a huge custom home?
It seems like, just from the overview, it looks like they're basically all about the same, like, tract style community housing built. And it didn't seem like there was one area was like, oh, that's the rich area.
Right.
All the big mansions.
And apparently that was by design. That's one of the things when you learn about the history of the villages. The guy that started this, he wanted it that way, to where you could have a millionaire living across the street from someone who's definitely not a millionaire, and they live in the same neighborhood. I would say here it looks like any typical new Florida community, lots of stucco houses that all look pretty much the same, but they do have different sizes. So, like, a lot of people snowbird here, and so they have smaller homes that are just easier to maintain. And they kind of clump those together in their own little neighborhoods because they're smaller and they have tiny little yards. And so the bigger homes have slightly bigger yards, nothing huge. But yeah, they're all pretty similar.
So, Tom, I mean, everything you're telling me sounds like it is, pretty damn good. Like, it's a cool community for retirement, especially people that want to be active. It doesn't seem like the fees are any sort of scam. At $159 to use everything golf unlimited, like, that seems good. I'm sure there's other association fees here and there for, like, to keep the place up and stuff, and for all the utility and whatnot.
Kind of expected, I think.
But if you were gonna list some of the bad things about living in the villages, what would you say?
I would say, and this is what most people say, but of course we do love it here, so we're not going to do move. But it is the lack of diversity. I mean, I'll be the first to admit it. It's a lot of older white people.
Ew! Yeah! Oh my God! There's no spices in the spice rack. Everything's salt and pepper.
They are the most uninteresting old people.
Yeah.
It's like mashed potatoes and there's not even pepper on it.
Like,
yuck! Give me some curry. Oh my God! Give me some chili paste.
if you were going most interesting old people, old black guy on the top, right?
An old Asian guy, way up there, dude.
Okay, yeah, old Asian guy is up there
But
too.
old white guy never up there.
No, he's the bottom. The old Indian guy.
Oh my God!
Everybody but white guy is last. Is there anybody less interesting? Maybe we're saying that because just we're a land of old white guys.
No, you're right.
That was the original title to Genesis's Land of Confusion.
Because maybe if you lived in India, you'd be like, well, an old Indian guy I'm used to. It's just what you're used to, probably.
Yeah.
But you're right. I guess
Grass is always greener on a different old man.
But besides from lack of a diversity, it seems like it's not any sort of like they're charging people too much to live there, and they're not. There's someone's raking in the millions, and it seems
Sounds pretty great to me, man. It sounds awesome.
Like the Villages, the corporation, it doesn't seem like it's ultra greedy and doing any sort of business practices that.
That's the interesting story. It's not a corporation; it's a family, and it's one of the richest families in America, and so it is privately run. And so what happens is, around here, they're also known as the developer, and that means it's the Morse family. That's who built the villages.
Yeah.
So they come in, they develop a neighborhood, and everything goes in at once. When they're done with a neighborhood, every house is built, so you don't have to worry about 5 years from now they're still building houses in your neighborhood. Because of the way things sell here, they move them fast. And so once a neighborhood is built out, it is turned over to the villagers. So we form our own HOA, and we run it from that point on. So the developer puts all the infrastructure in and pays for that, all of the amenities, and then once it's up and self-sustaining, the actual village is run by the people that live there.
That's cool.
Wow, that's interesting.
That is very interesting. Now, how do you guys manage the age restriction at all there, or is that just through the realtor knowing?
Yeah, it's got to be 55 plus, right?
It's 55 plus, but because of federal guidelines and because there are so many older people here as well. I mean, I won't kid you. There are elderly people here, and they're typically further up north. That's where the villages started, and so those are typically older areas. Down where we are, the new areas, and that's where I would say the average age here is like 60, 62. I mean, that's probably the average. And
that's young.
And so my understanding is that because of the percentage of people, you could live here and be less than 55, but I'm not sure why you'd want to. If you have a family, it's not really designed for that.
Right. It's designed for basically a specific purpose. But it is interesting to me that you're now. Have you? Okay, here's my question: have you seen a uptick? Like you said, you think the average age, if you're just throwing a dart, is like 62. Do you feel like since you moved there and you've been there about a year that it is skewing younger because it is a desirable place to live?
I don't know that it's skewing younger. I think that's just the newer areas are attracting the younger retirees, and so and then we got really lucky where we are. We think we'll be here a while, and so eventually our neighborhood will age. You know, we're going to not be the young ones in the villages anymore because they keep building. They're just moving south. They keep going.
Yeah. That's super interesting, man.
Like, is there any crime at all? Like,
yes.
What kind?
Quite a bit, actually. Let's see. Drunk golf cart driving is pretty common.
Yeah.
You'll see.
I imagine
that's what our listeners do for fun at our foot golf tournament.
Yeah. I just imagine everybody was drunk driving around.
I saw the documentary.
Did they even try to enforce that?
Not a lot. I mean, you pretty much got to have a really bad accident, and then the cops will come and you'll be arrested. And they're the little village website, and they love to put your picture up and show your mugshot.
Oh, God, they shame you. My God.
Like that one guy that was just snorting all the...
the meth.
That guy's the best.
Or he's doing coke and THC.
It's funny, when we first moved here, I met a guy that had been here a while, and he had a kind of a clever saying. He goes, "The Villages is a drinking community with a golfing problem."
No,
I love it.
Give me that shirt, sir.
We need a shirt that says that. A drinking show with a podcast problem.
Besides from,
that's not bad.
Besides from golf cart DUI, is there anything else?
Here's one that we see quite a bit of. You have adult children moving in with their parents, and those adult children have drug problems, and so there's constantly stealing, stuff to sell, to buy drugs. There's quite a bit of that going on.
Bill's cracky son moved in. He likes the pills, and he stole my...
Little Jerry's living with Jerry again. He stole all her Hummels. And he sold her Precious Moments collection at the flea market.
He's stealing the copper out of it.
Yeah.
But I imagine everybody's armed at the Villages, so it's a bad place to live.
Yeah, but one shot and their arms fall off.
You're allowed to have guns, right? Everybody's got guns.
I thought you were going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm doing a show.
I don't know. Maybe they had some rule about... No.
It's still America, Tom. So
Yeah. I imagine
That's
everybody...
Florida.
Every single person...
checked, it was still America, Tom.
I bet you there's that one gun-free household. It's got to be. That's pretty interesting,
It is
Tom.
very interesting. In fact, the chat room, it's funny because based on what the chat room is saying, I think our entire chat room wants to move in with you, Tom.
Yeah.
Because I'm not seeing a lot of negative. Are you?
No.
Most people are like, thank you for calling. Thank you for putting the reel on it. We knew watching the documentary that not everybody was like the guy in the van. Dennis?
Do you know the guy in the van, Tom?
Yeah, I haven't seen the documentary. I've had a few neighbors that watched it, and
it's
they
good.
did say it definitely had an agenda.
Yeah.
The guy was trying to make a point. I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
I think the point, and I think it's less insulting to the Villages than even they may want to take it. I'd have pride in the Villages if I lived there, so I understand that feeling. But I think the point is that any place, even a paradise for old people, can be really sad if you don't search for the right thing. See, unfortunately for us...
That's how life works.
Yeah, that's life.
You could be sad in Maui and be miserable.
Dude, Sad in Maui is an emo band. Sad in Maui is a song title or something, because how could you be, right? But it's like Sad in the Villages, and that's that one lady that my wife called the sad panda, because she actually looks like a panda.
Yeah.
But that lady looks so sad,
Can be sad
but look
anywhere.
at Tom. Who Tom's a listener of ours. He's our official. I'm declaring it our official. Your Villager's Tom. And Villager's Tom I want to hang out with you. You sound happy as hell, man.
Absolutely. My wife legit a few times a week will look at me and go, I can't believe we get to live here, because it really is, that kind of place. There's also a saying around here that if you're bored, it's your fault, because there are always things to do. There are always ways to be around people. And so if you're bored, you chose to be that way.
Last question, Tom. Is there some gambling in the Villages? I imagine there's got to be some.
It's crazy there.
Yeah, got to be some poker clubs and some.
I was going to say, there is literally a club for everything, and I know for sure there's a gambling club, so you'd be all set.
Oh yeah, there's probably sports bet. Dog track. I mean, you could. What do you want to get on? There's probably a pretty dangerous spot for you. Because you got some old guys in there with fedoras on and pieces of paper, and they got they're whacking the paper against the what is it, the horse numbers.
Old horse gambling. Those are interesting. Of all the old boring white guys, the old white guys that are horse gamble or gamble on the horses, like those guys are interesting.
I got a tip on Shiny Diamond. Shiny Diamond's broke its foot.
All right, Tom. We appreciate you talking to us. We'll definitely hit you back.
Yeah, we'll check back in. Okay,
you also sound very polite and nice, and
we gotta go visit him.
We're gonna come
take
visit
a ride on his golf cart.
We're gonna come.
Yeah, you could do a remote show. So if you ever need a Villages update, just let me know. And before I go, I do want to thank you for my random eggplant emoji. You totally freaked me out the other day.
No problem. A lot of people are scared, and
some people block this.
A lot of people block it. I think we lost close to 60 some percent. Yeah. Oh my God! Don't say that. All right, Tom, take care, buddy.
Okay, guys.
See you, man.
See ya.
What a nice man.
Yeah.
Now that's how I want to go out. That's the way to go out.
Old man.
Also, he said something
that
will never happen.
Pretty close to his age, actually.
Yeah, you're not that far off.
He said something that you and I will never have. Maybe Butler, maybe Samantha. You and I will never have. We will never be standing in our home and have our wife look over at us and say, "Oh my God, I can't believe we get to live here, or I get to live with you." That actually got me a little bit. I got some feels in me when he said that, because I'm like, "He's a lovely man with a lovely wife, living the American dream." My God, you and I will never have.
No. No one's gonna be happy they live with us. That's an impossibility. Not even our caretakers. Like Cupman over there, he's gonna be miserable. Eventually, we wear him down because they're like, "I'm tired of this guy. He's an idiot."
What are the odds that we can get an older, possibly pre-worn, used tropical smoothie cafe cup costume for Butler to wear? And
like from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah, and we officially change his name to Cupman.
It's just his only job. Is picking up my discarded cups.
Yeah, and washing them.
We could do.
Would that be the breaking point for him?
Oh yeah.
There's no breaking point.
I've tested the breaking point. It's coming close, though. I can see it in his eyes. All right, bye.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Up next, Spin the Bottle.
Did you guys ever play Spin the Bottle?
No.
You didn't?
Never played it. They even had it in that stupid Anne of Green Gables show I'm watching, Anne with an E. They even had it in that. And they even had Anne be bullied by the bottle came around, it landed on her, and then they spun it again, and it landed on a chubbier kid. And even he said, "I'm not going to kiss that freak," or something like that, mung face or that hatchet mouth or something horrible.
I played it at some sort of...
I think you played it at the your last Clear Channel Christmas party, right? I thought you had to... Didn't you have to kiss Super Dave from WWJRR, the rock station?
So I played it at some sort of middle school party.
I was gonna say, I feel like this is like those type of games are middle school type games, but I wasn't allowed to go anywhere in middle school, so that's probably why.
What's the heaven one?
You weren't allowed to go anywhere?
No.
7 Minutes in Heaven, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
That's a long time.
I think we did a little bit of that too, and then
you dabbled in it.
I think
give me 3.5 minutes in heaven.
Went into some closet with a girl, but we didn't do anything. We just stared at each other because I was too awkward, and then she was
7
too
minutes
awkward.
of staring.
And just your breath, just stay quiet. All you hear is
just breathing. Oh man.
Do you like my tie? It's
Cheeto breath.
Do you like my tie? It's shaped like a piano.
It was a guitar.
Do you like my pink nipples and my long butt cut hair?
I did have some
my
puffers.
wife didn't know it was called the butt cut.
Yeah.
There's a cartoon that Maisie likes called Big City Greens about a redneck family that moves to the city. It's kind of like Beverly Hillbillies, but a cartoon. It's really good, though. It's good writing. It's on Disney Channel. And they have the redneck boy wears overalls, and his name's Cricket. He has a perfect butt cut. It's the perfect quintessential chef's kiss butt cut.
Nowadays, though, like kids,
You just send the
They
nude.
just send nudes through
yeah,
DM.
Yeah. They're just sending each other news, which is way better, by the way. Like,
No, it's not. It's child porn.
Yes, I understand that aspect. I'm saying putting myself into the age
And it's
of
internet forever, as opposed to 7 minutes in a closet kissing somebody awkwardly.
Still, though, I get to see the girl that I wanted to see nude, and that was my only mission.
Yeah,
when
you
I
didn't want to
was
stand in a closet, and it's too intimidating.
because I just stood
Give
in the
me
closet.
an easy way out.
And then I went
Kids
home.
gotta be careful with that.
And hammer-handed to the thought of it.
Oh, they definitely
But I
need
just stood
to.
awkward, scared out of my mind. If I could just see the nude and then hammer hand, that's all I wanted.
Yeah, I never did any of that. In fact, like leading up
I'm
to
just saying what a middle school boy wants.
like leading up to like dating or going on dates or meeting girls, holding hands, kissing, that sort of thing. You know, I didn't get the quintessential. Like I was always jealous of I had friends that seemingly would do that all the time. I wasn't not looking for it, and I would go on dates, but it wasn't like a main thing. You know, like those kids that you hear the parents say, like, "Oh yeah, he's girl crazy or she's boy crazy."
Yeah.
I liked surfing and I liked video games. I liked music a lot. I did like girls and dates and that kind of stuff, but I seemingly kind of liked everything, like sort of the same, like balanced a little bit.
It's also. It may be, and this is another dumb old man thing that people say, but it seems like it's happening faster than it did when we were younger.
Yeah.
Because, I'm not joking. We found a note in Max's backpack this morning with just a heart on it. And then we're like, who gave you this? And then Max like, this girl in my class.
Yeah.
And then Max and Tommy are getting these notes with hearts and
But
love
they do
notes.
go to the swinging villages.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're
No,
in
kids
kindergarten
always
and
did that.
Yeah.
first grade.
I think
Yeah.
they do.
I don't remember being that young and even talking about that stuff.
Maisie hasn't brought home any notes, but she did sit with one particular boy. I'm not going to say his name. And let's just say his name is Daniel. Let's just say she said, I'm like, who'd you sit with today? And she was like, Daniel. And I was like, oh, Daniel, huh? How's Daniel? Good guy? And she was like, yeah, all the girls like Daniel. He's very cute. And I was like, oh, and you got to sit with him, huh? And she's like, yeah, he likes me. I was like, oh, okay. I just kind of keep
it's
it
like-
arm's length
The
and
girls-
keep it playful and fun.
Mature faster.
Yes, that
so
is correct.
they are like emulating what adults do. It must be like, and then like, this person is, this boy is cute or whatever. Like my sons don't think.
And the
anything
boys
like-
already emulate what we do when we get older, which is to do nothing right and just kind of.
It depends on the kid, though, too.
Yeah, it
'cause
is.
Some girls still think boys are gross. You know what I mean? When they're
It's all case by
Maisie's
case,
age.
man.
I think they do think they're gross still, and somehow the same, the cute. I don't know.
Yeah,
They're kids. I
Yeah,
don't know.
Maisie thinks they're
They don't
gross
know.
and cute,
Right.
which is
they don't-
weird.
they
I'm
don't
like,
know.
Like if I said to her, "Oh yeah, he's cute," and she'd be like, "Yeah," and I'd be like, "So you want to marry him?" And she'd be like, "Disgusting,"
Gross.
So there's a weird. They don't fully understand what they're even saying.
Yeah. It's.
But those games, to answer your question, to go back to it, I think those games are gone. I don't think those will.
Yeah.
I don't think they're
Because
I'm
they're
thinking about it right
awkward
now.
and
Also, interaction's down now. You know, I mean, like.
Yeah, it's all virtual because it's easier, and that's what will happen, which stinks. But of course, it.
Oh my God! Goes to Manute Bull with the saddest thing I've ever seen in the chat room. Twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live.
Stop, Ghost.
God, man. He goes, I went my entire K through 12 school years without a single girl ever telling me I was cute. Good
Oh,
Lord, dude.
well, you know why.
Yeah, because you're bifachonga.
Stop it.
Yeah. That's.
You can change that.
Yeah.
I can't change being 5'2" for the rest of my life. I had a man call me short yesterday at Publix.
Yeah.
I was buying Himalayan sea salt.
See, I had.
I'm 44 years old.
I was like Max or Tommy, they're good looking, and then but I hit puberty in middle school, and I got a fat butt cut, and then I got buds, and my mom only fed me Mama Celeste pizzas and Sunkist.
Well, that'll pump you up. Yeah, plump you.
You are falling into the same situation here. You got the old Bert haircut for Tommy. You're trying to feed them trash food for lunch.
Well, that's what happens. You turn into your parents, and you do the same thing.
If you don't want them to turn out like you might want to change some things.
Never-ending cycle.
Give me 2 Celeste butt cuts. You got to be careful with that, man.
But it never dawned on me that it was the Mama Celeste pizza and Sunkist, and no
one
told.
Not, because you're a kid.
But no one told them.
Look, I would eat that. That sounds so good.
My mom could have been like, "Hey, you. The reason why you got buds is because you only eat pizza and Sunkist.
No,
like you can't.
She just puts in her mind he's a growing boy.
But you have Crystal, so you'll be fine. That'll balance out the Celeste butt cut.
Yeah. But anyway.
I don't know. He's got the Bert now.
So no, it's growing out. They'll
grow it out. Yeah, don't let him shave that again. Ooh.
But I too was not popular, and like no girls liked me in like middle school or whatever. And
Ghost, he chimes back in as if to kind of redeem himself. Ghost of Minute Bull from our Twitch chat room says, "It's fine. I'm married now, so I grew out of my ghoul years."
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you just found a ghoul sympathetic woman. They're out there.
It also made you stronger. Like look at it for the good in it. Like so.
Yeah. I look at I was short, and I think it did give me something.
Yeah. You get something out of.
This girl is on fire. This girl is on fire.
All adversity teaches you something, right? But sometimes, sometimes just adversity all the time, and then it's done, and then you're like, "Oh, that's a rough one."
Mm-hmm. Goodbye.
Bye. Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I'm Dan. Samantha's here. Butler's here. The fish tank is running smoother than it ever has. I love it now.
We need to get a snail.
We got snails.
Well, like a stereotypical blob snail.
Gary the snail?
Yeah, like a big old snail that comes out. I saw some YouTube.
Oh, you want like something a little larger, more disgusting.
Yeah.
Okay,
like
we
a big,
can do
disgusting
that.
snail.
We got little snails, but they don't really do much. And then we got little crabs.
Yeah. Our snails, I'm talking about like a golf ball size snail. Something like that. You know what I'm saying? A big old snail.
Big old chungus snail?
Yeah.
Snail trail. Sorry, had to say it. You want to do some voicemails?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's try this one.
Bro. BDM Neil here. I just got that text message of y'all sending me a damn eggplant emoji. I love it. I'll keep doing it. I'll never reply stop. I love it. And I love y'all.
There you go.
We wasted so much money on an eggplant emoji text.
Yeah. I think you love it. Do you really love it? You can't love it that much.
BDM Neil loves it. He said he loves it while he was eating. And he said he'll.
I want to know what he was eating.
And I also like he said, "I'll never text stop."
Well, we'll test that. I bet I can get you to text stop. We'll just
Is that the goal?
Yeah. To make everybody finally stop. They'd be like, "I can't take it anymore."
That's funny. Sign up for our texting service. It's like the show on YouTube, Hot Ones. Can you take it? Is that what we're doing? Okay, I like that. We have a texting service to promote our show that it is so graphic that we dare you to actually subscribe. That's brilliant. Sometimes I doubt your ideas, like Poolber, and what was the other one you had? Where you always have something where you rent a hairdryer. It's like always, like everything.
There's too many ideas.
Ice machine. Everything you have is rent something out. Something out.
It's becoming bad. And then I see these people on these documentaries, and I'm like, oh my god, am I like that? This person's insane.
Yeah.
Stupid business ideas. They're just and he's manic crazy with these business ideas, and they're stupid.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh my god, is that me? And they're like, no,
you
mine are
sprinkle
good.
A little.
And I'm like, well, this guy thinks his is good.
Yeah.
So, of course I think mine are good.
The only, like, a little dumb old man on there, you sprinkle a little of that on there. I mean, the only thing you're missing is really a van and 90 Hawaiian shirts on a rack in the back of it. And if you were driving around the villages with me as your co-pilot,
you
realize that Dennis from the documentary the Villages documentary. What is it? Little Piece of Heaven.
Yeah.
That's our son from the future.
Some kind of heaven, yeah.
Some kind of heaven. Yeah, that guy. Oh my God. Let's try this one.
What's up, guys? President and CEO of GameStop here. I threw all my money into it. The one thing I wanted to add to the conversation you guys were talking about is that the people who shorted these stocks.
Is this still news? It seemed like
the
this
news
all
now.
went away.
How many people are losing? Have lost like their savings and have been screwed.
Oh,
yeah.
so what I was saying it was true. Is that this is dumb and it was.
Well, it wouldn't have been except.
Well, why would you
they've
even
changed the rules now?
Of course they did.
But
why wouldn't they?
And then also it's
what made you think they were not going to?
If you start investing into a business that is not thriving, eventually you're going to get the bad end of it, especially all the people at the end that threw in a bunch of money now are
you
stuck.
had to get in early, get out early.
Yeah. And anyway, so he's just talking about the other shorting and stuff.
He goes into it.
It's all over the place. Like now it's a thing, and now it's just jumping all over the place. And then it seems to, just like everything on the internet, is dissipated out to a million different things. And there's all the different cryptos that it's just everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like it burned hot, like everything on the internet, and then dissipated it into the world. I'm sure there'll be another one.
Yeah. It's just like, I don't know. It rubbed me the wrong way, the whole thing. I'm just like, all of it. Both sides. It was just like, I don't like any of this. This is stupid.
Well, yeah.
Hey, jerkwads. BDM Manna here.
Wait.
If you had an option on what to be wearing or not be wearing on your feet when you expire, what choices would they be? I'll listen and hang up.
That might be the weirdest
Gargling
question.
gargantuan teats. Deuces.
Wait, what?
He said gargling, gargling gargantuous teats.
Oh.
Which you can say.
Okay.
But he was, he's just.
So when you die or when you're buried?
Yeah, when you die when you're being buried.
Okay.
What do you want on your feet?
That is bizarre.
That is bizarre.
I mean, does he mean like anything, like bologna sandwiches,
Right.
baguettes,
Also, it's
paper bags?
It's always weird that people care about that kind of thing. I guess if you have like an open casket funeral, then
I didn't ask.
People even look at your feet?
I didn't ask what my mom or my dad were cremated in.
I don't think anything.
Yeah.
I think when you're cremated, there's no clothes.
They don't put clothes in there?
I don't think so. I
No,
think there's the
yeah.
autopsy and
that
then...
stinks.
Yeah, it's a yeah.
Well, Mom wanted... I'm pretty sure Mom would have wanted to be buried in her Jinkos. And Dad was more of he'd like to wear a judge's robe. Not a judge, but he just liked the freedom of it.
Yeah.
You want to like anything to be remembered, right? Like just so someone to be like, oh yeah, remember?
He
the-
had bologna sandwiches on his feet.
Yeah, something like that.
Mr. Baloney
Yeah,
feet.
what do
If
you? Is that? Yeah.
I'm trying to answer your dumb question, sir. But I
It's
was like,
not a dumb question.
Yeah.
Have some fun for once in your
No,
life. How are you
but-
ever going to make it to the Villages?
well, the answer is you want something ridiculous that anything non-rememberable
I got yours.
is not good, right?
Bass flip flops. Boom. Tom Van.
What do you mean bass?
The ones that look
The
like
mouth
fish.
goes over your foot.
Yeah, you put
Okay,
your foot
yeah.
in the mouth. Yeah, that's
Okay.
perfect
I
for
don't
you.
even like bass.
Well,
in fact, I hate bass.
Okay, how about flounder then? Or Mount Mai Mai?
No. I want,
Maui.
sailfish.
I would like, I would like to have your Maui sandwich grilled with extra lemon on the side. And I'm not going to do the fries. I'm going to try the vinegar fennel slaw.
Well, Tom's for sure in sandals.
Yeah.
I think I want Vans. Checkerboard
I
Vans.
want my original Converse that I still have that are basically unwearable now.
Well, you still have from high school?
Yeah.
Is that just
From like 8th or 9th grade.
Is that one of those weirdo things like Crystal has, like the
Yeah.
French witch, where you guys? That's a woman thing, where you guys. I have nothing of.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have my wedding
Just
ring.
sitting
if
in my
I have to
closet.
look every day. I go like, there it is. Like I don't.
Yeah.
And I've gotten weird like photos on me. I cleaned my iPhone out. All the pictures amazing. All that gone. I just cleaned. I don't need it. It's just it was getting too gunky. I like things clean and
all
fresh.
new.
I like all fresh stuff. Sometimes I go through my email. You guys have emailed me stuff, important stuff hasn't even been answered, and I'll just start at the top and I'll hold
Select
shift
all.
all the way to the bottom, and I just delete, start fresh.
Well,
It's
hold on.
March.
If you go too clean, it's an illness. You know, it's OCD.
No, it's fresh.
It's OCD.
It's fresh. I also want to cut my leg off and and live in a wheelchair the rest of my life.
Well, that's the thing. It's like there's one thing being organized, but then you start getting to the point where it's like every sock is exactly, like every piece of paper, every spice is alphabetized. You know,
I don't do that.
You start getting to a point where you're like, oh my God, this is too
I feel
much.
like my husband will be there soon.
That's a disease.
No, there's a little bit of real crazy sickness in there that I think if I deleted all, it doesn't exist. So it's become.
That's also mental illness.
Yeah, I said it.
It's all.
I said it was. I'm not saying it's not. And so what I do is I look at it, I go, well, this is insurmountable. I can't finish this.
Out of sight, out of mind.
This is too big. So the only way to do it is to eradicate it. And I hit delete and it's gone. And then I don't have to worry about it.
There's no way to live perfectly. Everything has a cost. It's like, so it's a cost of time. It's like if someone like, man, like this is unbelievably organized and everything. It's like, whoa, of course it took you a lot of time to do it.
Oh no, what's happening?
Don't stop. No, come on. You're gonna poop your pants.
Yeah, you are.
That was a wet plop.
Through the jeans.
Through the jeans.
Don't do
That's
that.
my Kanye West song. Through the jeans. You're
You're spreading your germs. That's why we have doo-doo flies.
Remember that song? I
was-
take a nuts for breakfast and then show for dessert. Somebody ordered pancakes. I just sip the scissor.
Every time we do something like that, embarrassing, I imagine the Monopoly man watching at
On a monitor, he's like, "What? I think I'll check in and see what my experiment with Tom and Dad is doing tonight." He hits the button.
And like as the next client that wants to spend a lot of money and then sees that and then says, "Oh my
Mr.
God!"
Coca-Cola.
Then he's like, "These guys are idiots and they're childish and they're farting." I'm like, stupid. They're mad and they're like, no money for them.
I mean, okay, you want us to talk about how sad the news is? You want us to start giving you the rundown on politics and all that, or you want some farts? I go farts all day long.
Yeah.
Villages, farts, sex, Mountain Dew, Walmart, Target.
Snail trail.
Yeah, garbage. Fish. I go all of that.
It's like, good? I don't know. Anyway, what's the next voicemail?
Well, we got to go.
Oh, do we?
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
Right? No?
All right. We do short one, long one?
I don't know anymore.
This is segment 3.
Oh, it's segment 3? Let's do a long one then. I'll keep going then.
Yeah, we can do at least 5 more minutes. Okay. For the next,
here's a lose-lose.
Hey, gang. Jake from Tampa here, BDM. Just calling because on a recent ACT, I believe, Dan, you were...
oh, no, that was me. We've already done that one. Sorry.
No, that's all right.
This is where Tom gets mad, and he's like,
I don't think getting mad at that out.
You're dropping the ball.
Hey, Tom and Dan.
Well, you're not
Dan Butler. I just listened to the last Friday free show, episode 601, and the whole Q-tip debacle that you were talking about, and how Crystal's like addicted to Q-tips in her ears. Just thought, or I think this is something, talking about addictive stuff, is my wife is addicted to chapstick.
Me too.
This guy is non-drunk Mike B, too, if you really listen to it.
Yeah. Got a little B in him.
Constantly, always putting it on her lips, and it's always sticky lips, and it drives me crazy because every time I kiss her, it's like I get stuck to her face, and she is it's every 15 minutes. Chapstick. I don't know, maybe Sam can relate. Maybe she has the same problem, but just thought I'd throw that in there.
I don't like it either.
Not every 15 minutes, but I got to have my chapstick medicated.
It's too sticky.
I'm miserable.
I agree with him because Andrea does the same thing. She's chapstick lady too, and she's all about the lip gloss all the time. And there's just something. It's not bad. I don't want to be like. Obviously, it's good you're taking care of your lips. I think it's nice that you moisturize. And same thing with Andrea. Obviously, she's taking care of her lips better than I am. But it is.
Is she? I think your lips can take care of themselves.
How dare you?
I don't think you need chapstick. I've had this argument with my wife because she's addicted
When
to
my
chapstick.
lips are chapped, I need chapstick.
Yeah.
I don't.
But not in. I understand
They're never
what you're
chapped.
saying.
My lips are never chapped because I don't use chapstick.
I don't know.
No,
They look pretty dry from over here,
They
Because he's been kissing Butler's ass.
they lubricate themselves or
Whoa.
do whatever the body needs
I think
to
it's
do.
natural Mountain Dew moisturizer.
I'm just telling, like it's
Doucherizer.
that's what will happen. I did this. I'm now addicted to eye drops, and now if I don't use eye drops, my eyes will get dry and hurt.
Yeah.
And that's because if I never started using them, they would lubricate themselves. I think the same thing with your lips. Same thing with like shampoo and other things that you use too much. Like
Here's where I stand on the chapstick. I like the fact that you use it, my wife uses it. When I use it and I need it, I enjoy it. I don't like kissing someone with chapstick, but if you're just wearing it, it's your lips. I don't care.
I got my husband addicted as well.
Really? Well, that
So
must
it's
work
fine.
out.
Yeah, we kiss each other both with chapstick
Now
on. If
that-
I don't have chapstick on and we leave and he has it on, then I kiss him, I got chapstick. It's great.
I do like a double chapstick scenario. Chapstick on non-chapstick, no. Non. I guess
I don't
it doesn't
find it
matter.
sticky. It must be the chapstick you guys are using. What are you using? Burt's Bees?
No, I just use the black medicated tube or the pink cherry tube. That's all I only have ever bought it at a 7-Eleven or a service station. I've never purchased chapstick at a like an actual Publix or a Walmart or
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to find.
what does it do? Is it supposed to like is like a
Moisturizes
lotion?
and
Yeah, okay.
protects from the sun and the wind
Yeah.
and the rain.
A lot of men, just judging from the vibe here, you, namely, and the chat room, are very anti-chapstick.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. We don't
But
need it.
Like, do guys lotion? I think
No.
guys hate all moisturizing.
I'm
right?
glad you brought that up. I was going to put that. That's one of the things I forgot to put on the list for Friday. I think I want to start becoming a lotion man.
Yeah.
No, it's
I
the
think it's
same
good
thing
for
as
you.
Especially with your tattoos.
No, I think it's
Yeah.
good. But I think it's good. Like I've.
If you sit out in the sun.
Okay, the pollen count right now is a banana. Yeah, Butler, he's a lotion man.
Yeah.
He's lotion crazy. Now I want to
The
become a
skin-
lotion man because my allergies are so bad with this pollen count that my skin is dry and I'm getting like places on this thigh right here. I can't show you guys. I'd have to take my underwear off.
Ew.
But it's like I've got some
Dry skin?
itchy spots.
Yeah.
Like I get itchy spots from the pollen, and so does Maisie.
Ew, Mr. Flakes.
Yeah. So Mr. Flakes needs some. So Mr. Flakes needs some lotion.
Yeah, your body will heal that.
It's not healing.
No,
it's getting
it
worse.
will.
It's not.
If you start,
And as you get older, your skin gets drier, and then it
Yes.
gets all loose, dry skin.
I bet you got a loose bulldog.
no, if you start lotioning and you'll become addicted to it, and your body will expect it, and it'll stop creating its natural oils.
What should I use?
Don't use anything.
Don't use anything.
Yeah, your body will overcome.
Is that true?
Yeah. And because you start doing the
No, I wanna
lotion,
know.
then it's the same thing with the eye drops. It's like you just get used to it. And
Find me a dermatologist, Sam. Do you think we have a dermatologist that listens to the
Probably,
show?
or at least someone who knows
Now,
one. I don't know if
they'll tell
talk
you
to
if you
us.
go in the sun all day, like obviously your sunscreen and stuff.
I do use sunscreen.
And then if your skin is damaged by sunburn or something, then maybe
Did you
should
lotion your
moisturize it.
face after you got your sunburn on your boat?
No.
What is it called? We always get it wrong. It's not a regiment. That's a group of men or women fighting.
never
right?
put
I want
lotion.
regimen. I want a regimen. I want after my shower when I'm done working out. I want to because every night I do my in the
Yeah, you got to
afternoons,
do it like SBK. As soon as you get out of the
Yes.
shower, you lotion, you let it dry, then you get clothed.
I need to talk to some of our ashier listeners
but
to
yeah,
get the 411 on this.
But some people have like an ashy skin problem and then have
I'm
to
telling you,
lotion,
I itch.
know.
Yeah, you got that dry skin.
I think it's from dry
Yeah.
skin. So what I'll do is work
No.
out, shower, then skincare regimen. That's what I want.
Now, I will say that the people, like the celebrities and the people that have some sort of skincare regimen,
Imagine how
they
young
look
you would look.
unbelievable.
Yeah, because you're supposed to
Dude,
take
if
care of
you-
your
But
skin.
you know who doesn't have a
Oh my
skincare
God.
regimen? Old Bannon. Like,
No,
it's-
exactly.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
if you had
it looks
one,
bad. Yeah.
if you had a skincare regimen,
Oh,
right, dude,
beautiful.
you
You'd
would
look
like
10 years younger.
you would look like Justin Bieber.
No, too late for me.
No, it's not.
You can stop it now.
No, I think you can repair
Otherwise,
the-
you're going straight Bannon.
I think you can repair the damage if you edged up your gray burns, just took them a centimeter higher, and moisturized for 1 week. You'd look younger.
Yeah. But it's too much work.
Yeah, that's true. For him, he can't.
What do you got to do?
For something that I don't care about,
Correct.
which is vanity.
Which is weird.
You don't want
to
look good for your wife?
No, I already
me
do.
to do.
I look good enough right now.
Good enough.
Yeah.
She says she throws compliments around like
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
I tell
I
my
lost-
wife, I go, Crystal gives him compliments about looking like a stud. All you ever say is, you're driving me crazy, or why do you act like this, or I can't take this anymore.
Well, I gotta look like a stud first.
Wow.
I deserve that.
Mr. Flakes.
I know. I deserve that. I deserve that. I deserve everything I'm getting. Look, I give it to him all the time. He throws out one, I can't take any more Mr. Flakes, and it's fine. I deserve it.
Hard to get wet when you're looking at flakes.
Like instant potatoes. Add water to the flakes.
I'm sorry I said that.
She looks at me, great legs. She looks at you, Mr. Flakes.
Yeah, I'm just effing around.
That's
it. Let's get out of here.
No, I want to do another one.
Okay, fine.
I'm not going to let you do that. Try this one.
Hey guys, James from Jacksonville here. I was wondering, I had maybe possibly a grifting idea for Tom, wanted to get his thoughts on it. With all these movies being released on HBO Max and other streaming platforms, do you think there could possibly be a resurgence in VHS or VCRs so that people could record them if they buy them and then sell them to their friends?
No.
What do you think? Give me your thoughts. Thanks.
This guy thinks he has the idea of all ideas.
Back to bootlegs?
Back to bootlegs.
I don't even understand what's the correlation between the movies getting released in HBO Max and some sort of
because people don't want to pay for the streaming service or the rental fee.
Yeah.
So he's saying people that do have that streaming service, are they going to buy a VCR, buy VHS tapes, record it from their TV, and sell it to their friends?
Couldn't you just give your friend your password?
Right.
Like, that's what everybody's been doing.
That, and then I think he wants to solve the stealing a freestanding copy, which you would do digitally, right? You wouldn't do any of that on tape. You would get a screen grabbing program. You'd screen grab the movie, compress it to a way that it could be sent as a file. But I do like the fact that he's using everything sort of analog. I like the idea of taking a VCR, taping something in HD, and then I like
dumbing
that.
it down.
I think, and then putting it in like an envelope and sending it to your buddy so he can watch like what's the one a Divergent series or yeah, like I think it's funny that you would do that. It's like there used to be, I don't know if I think I can say this, there used to be somebody I know worked with that they would find articles on the internet that they thought were interesting for my wife, and they would print out the articles from the website, let's say Google News, and then scan the article back into their computer to send to my wife.
That's craziness.
Yeah.
Well, it just depends on it. Well, is it, or does it just depend on your knowledge of technology? Well, if you knew you could save yourself steps, maybe you do it, or maybe you just don't know.
I just figured you email the link, or like it just seems like the sharing peer-to-peer of entertainment or art or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, like torrent sites.
It just seems it's being rendered obsolete by the fact that everybody can get these services for somewhat of a reasonable price per month.
Yeah.
And
well, that was their way to combat torrent sites, right? Is to make streaming affordable.
Yeah, because like HBO Max, what is it, $10 a month? So it seems like, all right, even if you're on a fixed budget and you're like, I don't have $10 a month, all the work it takes you to mail DVDs or VHS back and forth.
Yeah, I do like you went VHS.
It's like for every movie, like, and then you want to watch, it's like, all right, I want to watch this movie. Fred record it for me, mail it to, like, all that seems like more work than $10 a month. It seems like easier to make $10 a month and just buy that than it is to go around the system in this BS kind of way. It's stupid.
No.
Tactical Hat said this, and I didn't know this, but he said Sony PlayStation has software that will monitor video stream for certain embedded audio signals and then make it known as a RIP and then disable the video.
Yeah, and there's
interesting. I didn't know that.
They're still sharing passwords. Like you can still share people's passwords, and they haven't really cracked down that hard on it, right? I mean, with Netflix and HBO Max and stuff, I know maybe there's only one person that can stream it. Like if you share it with a friend, if they're watching it, then you can't watch it, right? But there's still you can still watch it.
Most of the time they make it known so you can manage it rather than just booting you off or something like that.
Yeah.
You know? And then some of them have even taken the almost an honor system approach because it is less. I think sometimes it can be better for your brand image to be like, yeah, we get it.
We know a few.
We're the cool guys. You know, like
Netflix, that's how they did their business. They knew everybody was sharing all passwords, and what happened is they got everybody into it, and then they slowly started making it difficult.
You just slowly pull it back.
And then people, once someone was into Netflix and consuming it regularly, then they're like, oh, whatever, I'll just get my own password. And I think that's what happened. But their business model was get everybody addicted to it, and then go from there.
You want to do another one?
No, well, let's go so we have enough time.
wrap
So we'll be right back with more Corporate Time.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha's here, Butler's here, but hey, we got somebody. I mean, we get stars.
Yeah.
We get stars on this program, my friend. I'll let you do the honors.
Yeah, and he's going to be at the Dr. Phillips Frontyard Festival March 13th. Same place we're doing our land cruise.
Yeah, you better snatch up those tickets, too, because when I went to check availability for myself, it gave me a little notice that said, get them quick because they're going.
Yep. So you can get tickets, of course, and we've figured out the whole system with our land cruise. You had to pick your pod that you want, but everything gets
these little boxes are amazing. If you haven't seen the Frontyard Festival setup they have there, you owe it to yourself to check it out. And we have a friend of the show who was mad at us for most of the time he'd be rolling through here at Christmas, and then we just peace out to go spend time with our families, and because we're lazy, we'd never have him on. Preacher Lawson, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, man?
How you doing, Preacher?
Hey, how you doing? I'm doing great. I just found out I'm not the father, so a lot of things about life. Pretty good.
We always did make that joke, Preacher, that and like I believe Maury Povich was he became famous for a paternity test.
Kind of a sad thing to be famous for.
And we always found it kind of sad when it was you are not the father, and then the guy started moonwalking across the stage because he was so happy. But I'm like,
that poor child.
Yeah, there's still a child that doesn't know who his dad is. So they go over there and everybody's cheering, and the guy's so happy. And I'm like,
yeah, I know. I know it's so weird. I remember when this one woman, she went through they did 8 tests, and then when it got to 5 tests, I was like, I hope this dude's not the father. So I just wanted to keep it going. I was like, I want to see how far it can go. So I just, I'm thinking about that now. I'm like, that's weird. That I'm like, I hope this child don't find his daddy. Like, that's just a weird thing to think. But yeah. I hope they found him now.
So, Preacher,
what's up?
I want to talk to you about what you've been doing. Obviously, we talk about you a lot every time we have Akeem Woods on, and
we do. And he is the father of my baby. And I've been telling people that since he was working at First Watch, and it would rattle people at breakfast when I would introduce them to my gay orphan husband.
And I feel like there's a lot of Orlando comedians that kind of look at you, Preacher, and like, man, Preacher rocket it. He made it.
Well, yesterday actually was his 12th comedy anniversary.
Yeah, so
he's been doing it for 12 years as of yesterday.
So 12 years of comedy,
Congratulations.
Sitcom kind of deal. He was working on Cast In, America's Got Talent, multiple times.
Yeah.
Multiple different appearances on other shows. You see him. Yeah. It was one of those cool things where you would see him pop up in things as and very special guest, Preacher Lawson, and we'd be like, oh.
Yeah. And so we've all been proud of you because we're like, man, he made it. He this guy's on fire. And so, but then obviously the pandemic last year around this time, everything shuts down. What was your mentality for a guy like you that we've heard that is a workaholic, is just, is literally grinding every day, all day? What do you do when everything shuts down and becomes quiet for a while?
Well, I kept grinding. I think I took a break. I think this is for all of us. First off, thanks for having me back on your show. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no problem.
You had me on the show before I was even on TV, so I think I appreciate all the love. But I just kept working. I think I took a break, and all of us were tired. All of us were tired, and I don't think we realized how tired we were until we stopped working and we got some rest. And you're like, oh, this is what energy is. You kind of just, it takes a second. But I got some rest, and then I decided I'll never not get 8 hours of sleep a day. And then that lasted for, I don't know how long, but I mean, now it's not happening again. But I was like, from now on, I'm getting sleep. And I don't care what I do, and it's like, now I'm not sleeping again. But yeah, man, I just started putting work into different things. Like I started putting into my YouTube and a lot of online things. Like that's what you realize. Like the fact that we're doing this interview online, like that's a new thing. Like people are like, I can't wait for it to go back to normal. Well, hey, news flash, this is it. This is the new normal. This is what it is. People are not gonna, want to get out of their beds for, when they can do the same meeting in Zoom and they don't really have to put pants on like now.
Yeah, for sure. Like during when that first beginning of the rollout, of COVID, everything's starting to get locked down. For someone like you, we know from having you in here, and I think you've talked openly about it, being, vegan and being health conscious. Is that something, like you mentioned, you were going to not get 8 hours of sleep, to always try to get your 8 hours. When did you decide that health was going to be something that you would prioritize, and how much do you think that helps you continue to do that grind? Because I'm trying to make my health better. Like I'm at 66 days straight of doing something athletic and outside and exercising every single day, just trying to do a little something to be better. When did you decide that, and how much does that help your mental game?
Man, it really helps a lot. I mean, I didn't even start being a vegan for health reasons. I just stayed a vegan for health reasons.
Right.
But it helps me out a lot, man. I mean, I honestly feel like if I get sleep, if I'm eating healthy, if I'm doing my little meditation and writing all my, everything I'm grateful for in the morning in my little journal, then I'm unstoppable, bruh.
Yeah.
You can't stop me. I just feel like so many, I just can't be stopped. I feel like I can do whatever I want to do, and I'm in a good place. I'm always happy. So I just try to maintain that, but you got to be consistent. That's anything. Like, with the 6 days, you got to keep working out. Like, it's not, as soon as you get to wherever you want to be, you got to still do it. You can't, it's not like you get to your perfect shape, like, I can finally stop working out. You got to keep working out just to keep it.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's a nonstop, man. But
Preacher,
I don't know if I answered your question, man.
No, you did.
Who do you, like? I know, like a guy like we've seen, like a Kevin Hart. He works out crazy, and then like we were seeing other comedians get into this mind.
Oh, look at Carrot Top.
Yeah.
I mean, before anybody, we were like, "What the hell is going on with that guy?" He's working out crazy.
So
Kevin Hart worked out like a psycho. I seen this man just for laughs. And he flew in to do a midnight show, a surprise midnight show. And then, he performed for an hour, and then there was an after party. And then, everyone was there. It's not like it's just Kevin Hart that's a big celebrity. He's just the biggest celebrity. And everyone's there. And then he go at the after party. Of course, everyone floats all the way over to him. I leave the after party at like 3:30 in the morning. The after party closes at 4:30, right? So I leave because I'm like, I need to get some rest and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
When he's over there at the after party, he's working business the whole time. Like it's not like he's partying like, he's like super serious, not really joking as much. And then I wake up in the morning and I just see this man, 7:30 in the morning, he's like on an elliptical, like getting that workout in. I'm like, when did you sleep? He flew in on a private jet to perform for an hour. I think he slept on the jet maybe. And then like, he just doesn't stop working. He just doesn't stop. It's insane.
There is something to that, though, because I'm starting to get into studying these guys, because now that I've got a number of days that's like in my brain, like even 2 days is good for some people, right? But I've got this number in my brain that I'm enjoying, and like you said, I got to keep it going. I got to maintain and keep raising the bar. But then there's something to this where you look at people like you that like I look at you, your fitness level, and your approach to your own
craft,
your body's
yeah.
health, and if you just, it's almost like if you just applied that to comedy, yeah, well, of course he's successful because he knows how to do stuff.
You also can work harder.
Yes.
Like if you want to equate it and make an analogy towards sports, there was a time where quarterbacks in the NFL used to take smoke breaks on the damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they would like sell cars in the 70s on the off season and stuff. And then it became such a highly competitive, high paying job that every single one of them now literally works out every day of their life and has $1 million in trainers because that's what the level you have to be.
100%.
And then if you look at comedy, like there was a time where like Sam Kinison, like his big fat guys were doing coke all day,
and they can still do that. By the way.
Of course, Sam Kinison can't grind it out like Kevin Hart. His body, like he's morbidly obese and he's doing drugs.
It's also a different time for comedy, I think, too. Right?
Yeah, so it's almost like if you are super health conscious and a grinder, and then keep your body in check and your mind and your mental health and exercise a lot, you could literally grind harder and do more than other comics and therefore more successful. Is that like the mentality?
Yeah, I mean, I do think that, like, I mean, I think a lot of comedians are fit. A lot of comedians like are, they're super health conscious, and a lot of them are into like, I think Joe Rogan has a huge part to do with that as well. He's like in the MMA, so all these, comedians want to be MMA fighters now. So, I just think, I think that people in general are healthy. It's not even like people in general, like comedians, but everyone is starting to become healthy. Everyone looks good. Everyone's attractive because it's just all the secrets, they're on the internet. Like people have tutorials on how to diet the right way, how to work out the right way, how to put on makeup, how to dress, how to do it. So everybody's attractive. Like if you're not attractive, that's because you don't want to be. That's it. Yeah. You don't feel like doing it. Some people, they don't have to do as much, but everyone can be attractive. Everyone look good. So, I don't know. I used to look like a Pokemon 3 years ago, but, I watched a couple YouTube videos, man. After a while, man, get some Invisalign braces.
Preacher, we're always curious because we talk about like the business of the entertainment industry a lot. Me and Daniel are fascinated by it, and it's sometimes there's no rhyme or reason. But I'm curious to like. It seems like there's categories of famous comedians, and then there's like constantly different steps you make, and obviously you are in a category like that. At least the perception with all of us in Orlando and all the comedians I talk to is like you are in the next echelon category of comedian.
The phrase that comes up next to your name the most is must watch. How cool is that? That's cool, man.
That's cool.
Must watch. Really cool. Every list was must watch. Preacher Lawson. Yeah, it's good.
Is it a combination of everything, or is there one thing that happened in your career that just made it where
you're his quintessential defining moment?
Is there something that like all of a sudden the switch turned and you're like, oh, now I'm available for this, or I'm in this category, or is it like happens so slowly?
It may not be like that.
I don't know, man. I think I have. I think I have low self-esteem, man. I don't feel like I just didn't think I still get recognized like every day with my mask on. I'll have my mask on and I'll maybe talk to a cashier at the gas station. They'll be like, yo, Preacher, you're like loud, and I feel like I'm just now kind of realizing like I'm doing something. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I just feel weird. I've been broke too long. I still feel like I'm gonna be broke. So I'm just trying to work so I'll never become broke again. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. So I think we're kind of doing that. I just think about all the things I want to do. I just want to. I was like, I want to do some. Like I remember when the only reason I started doing stand-up because I want to be on a sitcom, and I got on my first sitcom, and it was really cool. Like it was just like the initial like feeling you get. It's like opening an Amazon package, and it's like, oh, it's finally here. And after you open it, you're like, I need another Amazon package. So it's never like, oh, I'm satisfied type.
Sure.
So I mean, I think it's really. I mean, when I got up America's Got Talent, it wasn't like baby. I mean, it was baby steps all the way to get to that point. There was so many baby steps that people don't really know about. But that was such a switch. It was like, hey, like it just immediately, it was like, wow, people know you.
Yeah.
For the rest of the life.
That's crazy.
Yeah. People, so go ahead.
No, I was going to say it's a stupid question for me to even ask because a guy like you, a grinder that's super ambitious and works hard, never looks back. He's just always the next thing, the next thing. It's not like where I'm at. It doesn't even matter where I'm at. It matters what I'm working towards the next thing, and that's all it is. And it's like, that's all. Yeah. Everybody that's super successful has that mentality, and of course you have it. I'm curious, though, like with this, you got the show coming up March 13th at the Frontyard Fest. We're doing an event there in April, and I'm sure you've seen how it's sectioned off, the different boxes and stuff. And I thought to myself, with comedians, that is a unique way to be on stage and have an audience, everybody's separated in boxes. Have you performed in front of an audience like that, like the Frontyard Fest has? And is there any challenges to that? Like I would assume there is.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know what event you all are doing. You're probably just talking, doing your little podcast. Is that what's happening?
No, we got a magician, a juggler, a preacher. We got a reggae band, a magician.
We hired actual good, talented performers.
They wanted us to do a podcast. I'm like, hell, no. We are not that talented to do that. We cannot entertain that many people and separately in pods, even if they're our own listeners.
I mean, we could. It'd just be bad.
Yeah, they'd be pulling us.
Look at all this self-deprecation. Yeah, y'all can. People, whatever, y'all have a huge spot. They would love to hear you talk. They do that all the time with all these different podcasts. No, but all right, I mean, if you want to hire these other people,
yeah, we do.
Cool
we do.
Yeah, I think
they don't
Let's work for us.
They don't even like us, Preacher. It's a weird relationship. We make fun of them.
They bully us.
They bully us. It's just a bully relationship.
Yeah.
I don't even know why.
It's a toxic relationship.
But
hey, man, that's the best time, man. I still think about my toxic relationship. So
they're fun for a little bit.
I do think it's going to be a challenge for sure. But like, I've done stuff like that. I've done the drive-in, where the only way they laugh is through like honking or flashing their lights. So and that was still fun. So if I can do that, I think this whole pod thing is going to be fine.
And the setup, honestly, I don't know if you've walked it yet. You're gonna fall in love with it, man.
It's amazing.
They did it so well. It's such a good setup, man. Oh man, it's good.
And honestly, for the audience, like people will leave your show and be like, I wish this was like this forever, because you're sitting in your own pod,
and it's a lot more intimate than you think. It's a lot closer than you think too. The diagram's actually a little deceiving.
Yeah, there's certain shows where you're like, especially for like an outdoor comedy show, this is the way to do it.
Yeah.
I think
it's probably the only way to do it. Hey man, thanks so much for the time. We really do appreciate it, and we know that our guys are going to head out there and see you in a week or so, next weekend, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Next week.
And please give Akeem some love from us. We're gonna try.
Man.
We're gonna try to talk to him. So just give him a hug and tell him that we still care about him, and we're gonna try to talk to him a little bit.
All right, I will do. He's doing well, man. He's blowing up.
Yeah,
I know. We're gonna have him on next week because he's opening for you, correct?
Yeah. I mean, he's gonna do some time. I told him that like 2 days ago. When did he tell you?
He hasn't. Tom's just throwing stuff out there.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I wasn't supposed to say that.
My birthday's March 14th, the day after.
Oh, cool.
Celebrate.
Happy early birthday.
Yeah. I'll be 30.
Oh, my God.
Wow. So successful at such a young age.
Wow.
My God.
My Lord.
When I was 30, Preacher, it was bear suit bad. It was step above a homeless man.
Not good, man. It wasn't good. Well, brother, take care of yourself, and we'll see you soon, okay?
Thank you so much.
Take care.
All right, brother. Thank you so much.
See ya. There's
See ya,
Preacher Lawson live from Tampa. Very cool to talk to that guy.
Yeah. He, every time I, encounter that personality, I'm just like, man, you got nothing. Of course, he doesn't think like that, but I'm just like, this guy is just. His work ethic is insane. He is super talented, and that's like, if you're talented with your crazy work ethic, I don't see how it's possible for you not to succeed, right?
Yeah, but he applies the hard work to every portion of his life. It kind of goes back to
super humble, good. Yeah.
Remember before? I don't remember what day it is. We were talking about me wanting to become a moisturizing man.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of falls into the same thing that he's talking about like I want to have better control over every aspect of my life.
Yeah.
I don't want to have every aspect of my life be good and have dry skin. I want to have like complete control.
Tweak everything.
Tweak everything. That's why I asked him the fitness question, because I've been feeling a lot better increasing that. But it's weird because you would think you'd be less tired, or more tired rather, if you increase that. But I don't think you are more tired. You're less tired.
Yeah.
But why?
I don't know.
Sam's given the...
Now I'm doing the rodeo. Now I'm just doing the rodeo.
We're going to have to start talking about this because I don't understand. How many minutes do we need?
We're done. We're
I understand that, but do we need to stop now? If we don't stop now, does anything bad happen?
That I don't know.
Yeah,
okay, because the signal is a signal. The ending is the ending. There's a difference.
Yeah. I don't know.
I gave you the signal.
Yeah, but the
3 minutes ago.
signal is for us to decide when to end it. Not to keep doing the signal until we stop the show and say, what's the signal? Don't take your ball and go home. It's just
I'm taking it.
The signal is a signal, and then we got the point. We know the signal, and then we'll find the natural place to end the show.
Okay.
Yeah, my eyes darted over there. I saw, and then I was like, well, I'm gonna keep going now because I want to do the opposite.
Why did you hire me?
That goes against what I want to do.
I like whatever anybody wants me to do. I want to do the opposite immediately. Bye.